Hey, a lot of my friends are new to Hearthstone, and a lot of people very soon will be new to Hearthstone. And when you're new to Hearthstone, you don't have access to any cards that you weren't born with. So this is a deck that I made entirely of free and common cards that I went 11-3 on the Masters League ladder with, and it should work for anyone as long as they use it pretty well. So let's talk about how to use it, right? First, the win condition, as you saw in that first game, is putting Windfury on something and buffing its damage up so that it hits twice for 10 damage, and that's 20 hero damage to your enemy's face. And you win. So that's the general concept. Rockbiter Weapon gives you the ability to give +3 attack to something, right? You can put it on your hero, do 3 attack, and kill that Raging Worgen. And sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes that's a thing that just needs to happen. But if you can help it, you want to save Rockbiter Weapon because it only costs 1 for when you're going to play your Windfury guy who costs 4 to give Windfury to an existing guy who hopefully already by himself does 5 or 6 damage. So you're going to see a bunch of flamestrikes in this game and the next game if you're watching in the background. A lot of people worry that the type of cards I'm playing in this deck will lead to you being very susceptible to AoE, and that's not really true. So long as you have a lot of these swarm kind of cards, you get AoE down and then you just swarm some more, and then you get AoE down again and you just swarm again. Swarmageddon, baby. This game in particular, my opponent plays pretty slowly and deliberately, so you can even at 16x you should be able to keep an eye on the action. He plays a Flamestrike and a Blizzard. The previous game there were 2 Flamestrikes, and none of it helps. Eventually he gets overwhelmed. So you can see most of the time, you can see the card all the way on the left of my hand. That blue guy, he grants him another minion Windfury. He's going to sit in my hand all game. If you draw him early, mulligan him, because he's not really useful until round 10 in most games. I have 2 of them out right now. But he's usually the victory condition. You throw him down, giving him a minion that's already ready to attack this turn, Windfury, and then you use your Rockbiter Weapon to give that minion +6 damage instead of +3. Or you give Bloodlust to give that minion +6 damage instead of +3. So Windfury doubles the effectiveness of bonus damage. So you have a lot of things in our deck that give other minions bonus damage, like that big 6/6 creature that gives everyone +1/+1, the Shattered Sun Cleric that gives another minion +1 damage, the Flame Tongue Weapon that gives the 2 minions adjacent to him +2 damage. All of that stuff is balanced around the number that it has. But if you give the minion Windfury, you double the effectiveness of these additional buffs. So Flame Tongue Weapon and 2 Windfury guys is going to give you not +4 damage anymore, but now +8. And that's how you win. So it's not a sprinting deck, and it's not a control deck. Your goal is to control your opponent long enough to kill him with Windfury. And that game that just blew past was an awesome one. He was going to win on the next turn, but I threw down a minion that was 3/1 with charge. I gave it Windfury and Rockbiter Weapon and killed him in the face. You know, like all of a sudden, even though you have 18 health and an entire board worth of minions and you're going to kill me next turn, I just get to do 18 damage to you, and that's awesome. So you want to focus on controlling the board only to the extent that all minions with more damage than health are dead. If he plays a minion that has more health than damage, just leave it alive. Let that minion hit you. You want to take out these like 4/3 or anything that's 6/1 or 7/6. In this game, I'm actually going to lose because I didn't take out that stupid 7/6 guy, man. Anything that does more damage than health is reflective of the idea that he's going to win a race where he tries to kill you and you try to kill him. Remember, with only free cards and basic cards, you have almost no ways to remove a really good minion, and you have no AoE whatsoever, not a single AoE. So you got to be really selective about what minions you try to get rid of. Obviously, you need to get rid of anything with taunt, and obviously you want to get rid of anything that does lots of damage, but those are the only minions you really focus on killing. And one of the reasons you're being so selective about when you trade minions for minions is because you have 4 minions in your deck that are just like nukes. They're like a Frostbolt, the 3/1 with charge. He just does 3 damage to a minion. And then you have the ability to give him Windfury, or to give him +3 damage with Rockbiter Weapon, or to give him +2 damage with a Flame Tongue Totem, or to give him +1 damage with the Shattered Sun Cleric. So if you see 7/6 Venture Co pop out, you can kill him with your 3/1 with charge, 2 of those, or with 1 of those in Rockbiter Weapon. It's not very efficient, but you can do it. So focus on killing your opponent's big guys and then leave his little guys up and let him wail away at you with those. It's not very card efficient, but you're not trying to win in cards. You're not trying to win a late game. You're trying to win around round 10 or 12. A sprinting deck is trying to get a huge advantage and win maybe on turn 5. This is not. This is trying to win around turn 11 or 12. It's more of a mid-range sort of thing, but it is not a control deck. You don't have the card draw, and you don't have the expensive minions that you would need to win a super prolonged game. So keep up steady damage to your opponent's face, but also keep the board clear of anything that he can sprint and win with. So when you're trying to make that decision as to whether or not it's worth playing Rockbiter this round to kill something with 3 health, or playing a charge and a Rockbiter to kill something with 6 health, you got to take into account that Windfury is your win condition, and Rockbiter and a guy with 3/1 and charge, they both go great with Bloodlust and Windfury, right? On a round where you have only 2 creatures that each do 2 damage, and your opponent has 14 health, he feels safe. But you play Bloodlust and a Windfury and a Rockbiter weapon, and now he's dead. So try not to trade Rockbiter for anything less than 6 damage. So for example, if he has Raging Worgen, it's probably worth trading Rockbiter if you don't have any other way of killing the Worgen, because that guy is going to do 8 damage the very next round, right? So it's fine to trade your Rockbiter for that. But don't trade it for 3 damage. If he has a 3/3 minion and you can kill it with Rockbiter and there's no other way to kill it, just let it hit you for 3. Because Rockbiter is worth 6 damage, it's not worth 3 damage. So keep that in mind. It's also worth noting when it's important to play a totem. When is it better to play a totem than to play a 2/1 guy with charge? When is it better to play a totem than to play a tied whatever guy that gives you a 2/1 and a 1/1? Answer is, in the early game, try to never play totems, but do it if you have to. In the late game, try to play totems every round, even if it means you're not going to summon a minion that you could have summoned, so long as you're not going to die because of it. And then in the Gurubashi Berserker, he can get really beefy really quick. What you want to do is save your Windfury for him, and save him towards the end of the game when you have enough to drop a totem and him. Drop the totem. If it's taunt, play him. If it's not, don't. Just wait till next round. Keep dropping totems every round until you get that taunt out, and then you can play him, and he's not going to die immediately. That'll give him the chance to attack once. Now that he's up attacking once, if he didn't get sheeped or killed by some other card, you throw Windfury on him, attack twice, now he does 8 damage the very next round. And that's pretty freaking threatening, man. So give it a shot. Like I said, 11-3, good times, Masters League.